Welcome back to more ESL Challenge League action. Me and Matt have hopped over from EU to start covering some South America and to join up with the playoff bracket, of course, that we've been following through every single match thus far. Sharks versus Game Hunters is our game tonight, Matt, and we need to see Sharks bounce back after Fluxo, the favourites, kind of gave them a drubbing the other night.
Yeah, they did get hammered, but Trevor, I can't help but just think that there must be somebody out there in the world that started their day, you know, maybe having a little morning break at work, putting on a stream, hearing our voices in that game. All right, cool, all good. Get home from work, you know, in the evening, put on a random game on HLTV. They hear our voices there as well. Fine, I guess, line up that ESL Challenger League matchup between Bait and, goodness, who did they even play against? Bait and...
Sinners, mate.
I can't even remember. Bait and Sinners, they throw that game. They hear our voices as well, and then they think, well, it's bedtime now. Might as well put myself to sleep with a good game of CS. And they hear our voices again. They can't escape us. It's our 6th best of 3 in 24 hours, and I'm all for it. I'm super excited.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's have a look at the bracket and see how it's how we're dealing with it, of course. Coming up toward the business end of everything. Fluxo looking the best without a shadow of a doubt over the course of this particular upper bracket. Incredibly clean performances from them. They're the one team, of course, out of everyone here that has made the major. And we can kind of see why. Team Solidarity, I reckon, will give them a decent game in the upper bracket final. Have a good feeling about that one for them. Just because I think that they've looked so good over the regular season. Fluxo probably still should win that game, but that's going to be Fluxo's probably hardest test yet. In the lower bracket, of course, you've got some teams who are trying their best to stay alive. Swingers and Bounty Hunters on the other side of this lower bracket. We're focusing on Sharks and Game Hunters. As you can see, a few surprises already. Red Canids, the team that you would think would do well, have done really, really badly for a number of reasons, due to having to forfeit a map against Swingers, due to the fact they're playing with 2 stand-ins, haven't figured out their full new roster yet. Even Cold Zero apparently starting to AWP for the team, which is just like crazy, like what year are we in? But yeah, that aside, Sharks once again covering them. We've been pretty high on Sharks throughout the regular season and what we've managed to see from them, but there have been a few changes lately, Matt, which have kind of changed our view on them as a whole.
Yeah, unfortunately, they decided to make what I think is an untimely roster change. Of course, they didn't have great results on LAN, and maybe that's what motivated the decision to replace Nyx with Angelo. Of course, they can't use Angelo in this competition, so they're using one of their academy players, Kenz, who, I mean, I don't even really remember a single moment from that series against Fluxo where he popped off and you think, yeah, this guy's exciting. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but this might just be a level that's slightly above where he'd like to find himself. Maybe not against Game Hunters, though, right? I mean, Fluxo, you're playing against Zevi and Peria. That's just not going to be easy for anybody. But here against Game Hunters, perhaps we can see him do some better work. I mean, across the board, everybody struggled for Sharks. So hopefully they should be improved coming into this game, and they have to be, right? Because if you lose this, you're out of contention for that spot at Pro League.
Exactly right, and you mentioned those LAN results. They played in Philadelphia in North America. They did okay there. They got to the grand final, but they got destroyed by NIP. 13-9, 13-4, 13-4 on Anubis, Nuke, and Ancient. And that is probably not where you'd want them to be. You know, NIP are not exactly taking the world by storm with their new roster just yet. They're making some progress. They're going to be in PGL Astana, for example, with a great qualifier run. But, you know, on LAN, NIP need LAN opportunities for us to really tell how they are, but clearly Sharks were nowhere near their level in that grand final. Then, of course, played in that Fire League Buenos Aires LAN as well. And that was a really fun one, obviously, because they played in that sort of subway setup, very, very unique LAN, that one. But again, played in the semi-final, they got destroyed by Imperial 13-6, 13-3. And that's a regional opposition. So yeah, I might tell you kind of where they are at the moment. As for Game Hunters, of course, Matt, they are a bit more of an unknown factor, but there are a couple of players, of course, that we do know from over the years.
Yeah, certainly some recognizable name value on that side of the server. I think probably Aber or ABR, don't even know what we're going with over all these years, is the one guy that I've seen do some pretty good work in the past. He's plied his trade in a lot of the regional teams over the years. Mello, another guy, sometimes not so mellow in the server. I think he's the AWPer, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's the AWPer for the team. I remember him doing some good things on Inferno, for some reason in particular, is the one map that kind of comes to mind.
Right.
And you know what, Trav? We're going to be jumping into the action here. First map is going to be Nuke. It's the pick of Game Hunters. Then it's Ancients afterwards, and Mirage to decide.
Yeah, I think Melo did some of his better work back a couple of years ago when he played for Furio Academy. Had a few good stints with that team and looked pretty good. But yeah, it's been a while. Probably the main guy that I remember is Riccioli. Been on many different rosters over the years, like Case, Odic. Been on SWS back in 2021, probably when I first covered him back then. So yeah, looking forward to seeing if they can do anything in this game. But Sharks are the favourites for sure. RDN is struggling to connect with any of the Game Hunters players as they hop down toward ramp though. And they're going to have B here.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a tussle in towards the double doors, though. The Julies, the 2 pistols make the difference. Koala, my goodness. Gets a kill, 180 degree, gets another kill, turns again. 3 frags found. He might be on course for more. He's got the knife out. RDN will rob him, but it doesn't matter. I mean, that would have been the ace, and what a way to finish off the ace. That would have been in style. But they don't mind, I guess. Ultimately, they win the pistol, and that's what matters.
Insane. Look at this, right? When they open the double door right next to him, you are concerned for Koala, thinking, okay, well, he's just going to get run down here. But they don't check that corner behind the door properly. First kill is a freebie, the 2 and the 3. Whereas they kind of opened the door and pushed in toward him. The 4th was an incredible spin. That's what those dualies are able to do with those 30 bullets. That's one thing I'd maybe ever so slightly nerf from the dualies purely for pistol rounds alone. They put it down to 20.
Yeah, it wouldn't actually be a bad shout, honestly. They do tend to get abused. They're also so cheap, $300 for 2 pistols, $150 a pistol, Trav. That's a bargain.
It is, right?
That's cheaper than the default pistol.
Have you ever been in a situation in a game where you've needed to rebuy the USP or Glock because you've somehow lost it or for some reason?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Not that I can like genuinely recall. I can't think of a situation that would require that. I've cast more games than I've played, and I've never seen it in the games I've cast either. So
there you go. I might have to stop playing again for a little bit. Get that bonus XP they released with those updates coming in last night.
Yeah, true.
Doc as well. He got Glocks coming his way. Gets himself 2 kills. Riccioli gets away with 5 HP down towards Secret, but there's not really much he can do with this position. He should get found by the MP9. Unfortunately, he's found the one weapon which he probably didn't want to find to give Koala a bit more extra money. 2-0 start for Sharks.
And the first gun round is upon us. So let's see what Game Hunters are going to bring to the table here on their own map pick. Good cleanup, flawless from the CT side, keeping everybody alive means that this is pretty much a bonus round for them. Oh, did RDN die? I missed that. I don't think he's just upgrading his gun here, actually. Maybe dropped an SMG. I think that's what's gone on.
Yeah.
Quite light utility for Game Hunters as well. This is what happens when you decide to buy in the 3rd round.
Yeah, 2 smokes only. And flashes are alright, but gonna have to win their duel straight up. Riccioli will take Doc, and Koala knows what's coming toward him toward ramp. Full movement with the MP9. Goodness gracious, how's he got away with that? From the pistol round to the MP9. The nade will actually even catch one more. Couldn't even find the last. He's playing with ABR. It's all down to ABR now in a 1v3. He is guessing where Kens is coming from. Good crosshair placement, but it's ducked under by Kens. And RDN's out will come and help out with him as well. So, good bonus round win for Sharks there.
Yeah, very good job indeed. I mean, Koala continues to just frag like a madman. Couple kills with the SMG, the nade dunking down as well. Game Hunters haven't really woken up yet. They haven't been able to get going, but Sharks have just been on the pace from the word go here, on the money. Looking like a team who mean business, Trav. They want to get themselves into that lower bracket final. Of course, they'll play against the winner between the other game that's going on at the same time as this one. Swingers versus Bounty Hunters. And then we got that really sick game tomorrow night, Trav. Oh, Fluxo against Solid in that upper bracket final.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Let's see if Fluxo can keep their run up. Get that Pro League spot that they should be favourites for. Or if Solid can prove the regular season was not a fluke. Oh my goodness, ABO's actually managed to find Koala there through the corner of the door, but he should go down, and there we go. Gafolo will take it. Nilo is stuck toward the control room position, and Gafolo will remove him as well. 2 kills for Gafolo. Good hold for Sharks once again. Sure, it was against a slightly lower investment round, but looking good so far.
Trav, we cast 4 best of 3s in Europe earlier on or throughout the day, and you can just immediately see that we're casting a different region right now. Just such a massive, drastic change within the tempo of the game.
Yeah.
Just so much action, just so much going on in these rounds as well. Both teams just clashing round in and round out.
Yeah.
Game Hunters look to maybe slow down the pace a little bit here.
And also, like, I promise you, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but this is something that I've criticized the South American region for quite a little while now, right? You have, like, 5 or 6 teams that I think are acceptable. And then you have, like, mostly quantity over quality when it comes to, like, tier 2. And, like...
What is going on?
Like, Game Hunters are probably will win this round because they know where Koala is. He's got 3 kills. But, yeah.
He's 13-2.
He is. My goat.
Is he going to attempt this? I mean, he doesn't have much money, nor does RDN. He's also below half, so I wouldn't mind seeing him just accept his fate, call it a day, scoop up the kit. But is that what's going to kind of maybe motivate him to have a little look in here? He's hoping that maybe because he's taken long enough, they might start to consider heaven, and then he could potentially isolate these jewels. PRT not giving him that jewel, forcing Koala to come the entire way through. And now Koala surely just going to be looking for exit kills, but he himself will be fragged. And Game Hunter's on the board.
Madness. Let's get Game Hunters their first round. Do you like koalas?
Oh, Trav, you know me, mate. Huge fan.
Fair enough.
Massive koala enjoyer.
Did you know
Such
today...
cute animals, very strong.
No, today is David Attenborough's 99th birthday.
Yes, yeah, I did see that. Genuinely my goat.
Yeah, my goat is thrown around a bit,
It's crazy that he's
isn't
been
it?
able to live till 99. Yeah, but that one...
That one is real.
Justified.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one's legit. Look at this from Game Hunters. We are just flying through this game right now as they charge down the vents into that lower bomb site. They found kills in the process. Round is already over before the bomb was even planted. I think that's one of the big common denominators between us, Trav. We just both love animals, wildlife, nature, and
Yeah.
specifically David Attenborough. Sir David Attenborough,
Sir
rather.
David, yeah. If only everyone in the world truly heeded what he had to say.
I mean, he really has been able to impart his message on the masses, though. What an incredibly successful life, kind of being that bastion of nature. I think one day when he does pass, which will be a terrible day, he can go quietly into the night thinking, yeah, I've done my bit, you know.
Yeah. That's all really anyone truly wants, I feel like. Feel like you've made an impact on the world, a little bit. Just a little bit, even if it's in your own circle.
Well, that's ultimately how you live forever. You transcend your own physical existence by having imparted something on the world that's greater than yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. And I know it's a very basic level, but there are certainly some Counter-Strike players that have really imparted a legacy already. It will live on.
Well, Counter-Strike is a massive part, if not their entire life, right?
Yeah.
Think about how much entertainment they've provided for millions of people. Immortalized. And I finally feel like we can breathe, Trav, because we've had a little bit of a break in the game here.
Yeah.
We started this like 5 minutes ago, and we've already had 6 rounds.
Actually, a very good point. Been a speedy game. 5 for Sharks is a little bit wishy-washy. We've got 2 MP9s and a FAMAS, but it's not really mattered with how they've played the game thus far.
Who's going to blink? Who's going to start to just slow down the pace of the game? Game Hunters, they're certainly not going to be doing it here in this round. PRT's gone the entire way through the Molly's taken so much damage, but he's inflicted even more. Great multi-kill, my goodness. Game Hunters just devastate the A bomb site. And Sharks, they can't keep up with the pace of these rounds from Game Hunters.
Yeah, this is a style that Game Hunters have come into this match, clearly, with a lot to deliver. Just no hesitation really at all. Impressive start. 3 on T side, not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, and it should be 4 with relative ease as well, because there's not going to be much for them to try and deal with in the following round. Koala will carry the AWP across, but he's really the only guy who's pitched up in this map so far for Sharks.
Yeah,
Can't expect him to win you every single round here.
Yeah, it does deserve to be mentioned. Look at this fast A play coming in from Game Hunters there. It's pretty simple, really, at the end of the day. Just delayed util. Made sure to pounce when they could. PLT doing a lot of the work. Heaven player, very, very blind. Took his time with the burst to remove him. In trouble.
Right, well, Koala now with the Desert Eagle is going to get overwhelmed. A little bit of damage inflicted, but it's just going to be more pedal to the metal coming through from Game Hunters. Just a blistering speed and tempo with which they've opened up in this game. And they're going to be able to find the kills to complement it. Couple low health players. Doc has been able to nestle himself in here. Smoke to block the double doors, and Doc's not going to contest, so that's all right. I think Koala's already accepted his fate in the round with the AWP. I don't think he really wants to try and get into the site, and Game Hunters will level it up.
Yeah, Gafolo will be saving the AWP. Try and get away with it as easy as possible. Right decision to make without a shadow of a doubt. And Doc may as well save his Kevlar as well. You could forgive him for maybe going searching for a weapon or an extra kill. PRT and Riccioli need to get quite far away from the site here. Otherwise they'll just go down with the ship. I think... I don't know if they survive here, you know. It's going to be quite close. Oh my word, it was very close. It actually took PRT and Riccioli combined down to 1 HP each, I'm pretty sure. And then Riccioli got fragged by the saving AWP.
So he's like, guys, I survived. I got far away enough. PRT has been so good with these opening kills, man. He really has just been running into this bomb site head first every single round. What do Sharks change? They have to know it's going to be fast and furious. Can they sustain it?
Well, Gafolo, he has got the opening on toward Riccioli, but once again, we got that fast drop in toward Mini from ABR. Impressively dealt with there, knowing the right timing to make that happen. Ardian and Kens will get 2 apiece, though, and yeah, in the end, it actually just falls apart a lot quicker than I thought it would. Game Hunters are in a, weren't in a terrible position, but Sharks kind of gauged the info and managed to get the right timings on every single swing.
I'm trying to figure out if this game seems super fast because I've had 4 cups of coffee today and 1 monster, or if this is just very fast Counter-Strike right now.
It's very fast Counter-Strike.
I need a reality check, Trap. It is, right? Yeah, okay. Didn't know if I was just rushing or if it was the players. I jest, of course. Good work there from Sharks to weather the storm in the previous round. Maybe that forces Game Hunters to just tailor their game a bit more here.
Yeah, it is a bit more of a patient round here coming in from Game Hunters. Utility has been up for a little while. It will now dissipate as RDN will re-smoke in that door position. PRT waiting in lobby. A little bit of outside presence with Riccioli. He's just been tasked with trying to get information. So a bit of a fake. They could be going for an outside play, maybe. They could still. They've got smokes available. I say that. I say smokes, sir. They've got 1 left.
Much slower round. We've actually breached the minute mark this time round. Game Hunters taking their time as they work their way in through towards Secret, but this is all just a ruse. I think this is just to try and pull attention away from the A site. RDN Zhao goes searching, finds a kill and some damage, but it might still force his team to adjust the setup because he's died. That's exactly what Game Hunters are relying on.
Mitch looking to entry. Feels like he's got a good timing on that one as a Molotov comes through behind the silo, and he will get the opening kill, but Doc and Koala have done really well. Really available for Doc as well. That nade might just get to him. Oh, it's a bit too deep. I say that again. Another player, 1 HP in this game, and Doc has been an absolute nuisance here. 5 seconds for a plant. It's not going to happen. Ricky Oli's going hunting for a kill he's never going to get. Round over.
Okay, well, Shark's able to lock it down there. There was a lot going on in that round for Game Hunters, just trying to sell the fake, draw the rotations, and then breach into the A-bomb site. Good opening kill here from Lich, and he nearly doubled down on the entry as well, despite the fact he was so blind. I don't know whose flash that was that even blinded him up. If it was the CT's flash, then it actually makes a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. PRT can drop an AK, so they'll have 5 AKs. They'll have guns across the board. Lose this round, though, and it could end 8-4.
"17 minutes played, almost at half time."
It's actually less than that. We started at 4 minutes past the hour, I think.
True. Good point. I think we started pretty much on time, right? So, wasn't too far off.
It was a couple minutes after.
Okay.
I can tell you that with certainty, but
I believe you.
either way, the point still stands. It has been a blitzkrieg of a game so far.
You know what I love about the internet in general? This is a nice thing. Nothing mean. This is just nice. I was at a quick glance in Twitch chat, and I'm seeing someone discover who David Attenborough is and be impressed about what he's done and how old he is and how much of a legendary man he is. Like,
well, I can go to bed tonight thinking I've done something successful.
Exactly,
If
right?
I've just educated somebody and gotten them down that rabbit hole of Sir David Attenborough, then that we've done our jobs.
Exactly.
We've used our platform appropriately.
Exactly. I'm amazed that there is a human being on planet Earth that doesn't know him, but there we are. We found one. Koala, can he deliver on the rafters here? Oh, it's a good
he
check.
didn't
It's
have
a
to step
double
out.
check. He does step out, you're right, but maybe he felt like he needed to step out because of the fact there were so many players trying to clear the site in its entirety. It's a great nade from ABR. Gafolo will go down, and Mello will find one on the AWP as well. Getting that AWP out on T side, doing good work. Now Doc needs to clutch 1 versus 2. Need to break open the smoke. Sees a bit of 1, but can't burst down the first. And Game Hunters will close the gap to 1.
Yeah, a tiny little bit of a cloud of smoke to work behind there after the nade had broken it open. Barely any room, but he still ultimately goes down. I don't think Koala had to step out. I think he just wants to get in on the action. I think if he stays in the corner, he may have been cleared, and perhaps he wants to try and take the fight on his own terms instead. But I think he could have played a little bit safer and might have got more out of that position.
Again, pace. What they've kind of defined their half with, but Sharks will do well to get away with a 2 for 2. Kens will go down, and PRT again hits an important entry. I feel like all 9 of his kills have been really impactful. Down to a 2 versus 2. Bomb is on the back of Lich, trying to get it down, but there's an MP9 pushing up close. Koala, they decide to leap his way forward on this one. Nope, he waits. He waits, and he tries to go in toward the AWP of Mello, but he is trying to bait back in. Noise being made, though, and Mello was very, very ready. 6-6 on the half. I think Game Hunters will be very happy with that. See you in a minute. We're no nearer to finding out the winner between Game Hunters and Sharks on map 1. I think Game Hunters will be quite happy with a 6-round T-half. And they'll go on to CT feeling a lot better about themselves. And knowing that the underdogs in the series by quite a way on their pick, even though Sharks are better on the map recently, they're giving the Sharks a really good game with their aggressive style.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch in that first half as well. Now it's Sharks' turn to try and dictate the pace of the game, and they're going to give Game Hunters a taste of their own medicine. Straight into the save bomb site. 1 kill's enough to completely open it up. There is a Kitcher on ABR, no utility, but they've got that extra resource at their disposal.
Can they somehow get ABR on the defuse? Some way, somehow. Anything to cause some panic in the ranks of Sharks. Ready to go in. IDM will find one though. It has to be the Pounce, I'm afraid. The Pounce is going to fail. It's like a lion stalking their prey. You only see the successful ones on wildlife programs. All the failures. There are more failures than there are successes.
Just like social media. You only see the highlights. Either way, ABR could give us some highlight kills here to add to the video reel, and he will get 2 kills. Dies to the bomb explosion. Sharks regain the lead. Good way for them to start off that campaign on this T side. Yeah, things kind of fell apart in the first half, or were broken apart by Game Hunters. Sharks had started emphatically, going up 4-0, but Game Hunters did a very good job to get themselves up to 6. Got to hold on now on the CT side, though.
Mate, that was an absolute disaster for ABR. He wasn't allowed to save the defuse kit. Can't believe it.
That could change the state of the entire series, Trav. That could transcend even this match. How does that affect the major? How does that affect Fallen's legacy, Trav?
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Fallen's legacy is some of these players on the server. Probably his hero, or their hero.
Oh, absolutely. The godfather of the Brazilian scene, right? Riccioli is Dedioli.
Travioli.
And that's going to be 8-6. Yeah, you and him have got that in common, I guess.
Yeah.
I always say my favorite pasta is a Travioli.
Yeah, indeed. There is actually no...
PRT... I was going to say, you know what PRT reminds me of, Trav? He reminds me of Peter. PTR,
I know, PTR.
Old American AWPer,
Apparently
turned poker player.
Yeah, I was about to say, very good poker player now, right? So, pretty funny. I was just going to say that there is something funny, right? Like, if I wanted to make my official gaming alias Travioli, I think that would be fun and pretty funny. So just like a little silly and goofy name that I use on Steam. But there's actually someone who's a professional Smash player called Travioli. And I think I've told you that before.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a fun little fact.
His name's Travis as well.
Impersonating you, Trav.
You'd hope it would be anyway. Riccioli now trying to hold from the top side solos. That's actually a really good position to play, but not when you're as blind as that. That's super awkward for him. And then there's one more player towards Squeaky, and Doc will jiggle pick that out, and somehow Mello has gotten 2 from that position. Gafello really needs that kill onto a PRT now, and they've managed to find it. Do they know ABR's position? They don't. They're modeling heaven. This gives them an opportunity to play a surprise factor here. Creeping forward, bomb plant coming through. He's still not been seen by Doc on side. And I think ABR's very aware of that. Well, he's got an opportunity to catch them off guard, but now it's awkward. Oh, what a shame. He's shoulder picked out by Gafello, and Doc will run him down. Sharks up to 9.
Gafello and Doc looked so locked in that 2vx situation, just with the way that they were playing off of each other, just with the way that they were supporting each other. You could see it looked like they were just always destined to win that round, honestly. Really good work between the two of them. 9-6. Sharks in the ascendancy. 4 rounds away from winning their opponent's map pick. And should be able to make it just 3, because Game Hunters don't have much going for them here coming into this next round. Upgraded pistols, light utility.
Oh, hello, Doc. Got to be careful. There's a lot of players coming your way. Good reaction. Finds 2, I tell a lie. It's RDN to help out.
Should just be the one casualty in the round. Mellow with the USP, eventually going to be finished off as well. That's double digits for Sharks. Multiple. There's 5 of them. Can you name 5 different Sharks, Trav? Let's do it together. Hammerhead, your turn.
Great White.
Bull Shark.
Whale Shark.
Sand Shark. Boom, we did it. 5.
Wait, did we?
Teamwork. Yeah. I did 3, you did 2.
Oh, okay. I can't count. Fair enough. I'm just cooked, dude. Like, it's been a long day.
It is our 6 best of 3 in 24 hours.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a couple hours as well.
Indeed.
We're in purgatory, casting purgatory.
Thankfully,
Sleep,
we enjoy
cast,
the purgatory.
Eat, repeat. Yes, no, it's a good place to be. Not complaining. Wouldn't be anywhere else. And Sharks, well, where they'll find themselves is ancient pretty much if they can win this gun round here. Game Hunters have to put a stop to this momentum.
Yeah, good start on T side for Sharks. Just looking like the superior team, full stop here. I'll say kind of the 2 players with the biggest histories, probably ABR, probably Riccioli. I've seen for quite a long time, but the reality is for Game Hunters, they just don't have the name value of a Sharks roster. And the Sharks are definitely not even on the level of Fluxo, I would say, at the moment. They definitely just have that X factor that Game Hunters don't necessarily have. We saw some great work from PRT on T side, but I think he's barely got any kills on CT so far, unfortunately. Entry for Koala, entry for RDN, drop down the vent, plant B, round over.
Yeah, what a lovely round this was as well. Change up in pace from Sharks, just a completely different approach from them. Straight through squeaky door, down the vent they go. Great opening kills found. I mean, Game Hunters did have their chances in some of these gunfights. They had like head-on-head fights in the round, just couldn't win them. And that's going to be 11 on the board. At least Game Hunters will keep 3 players alive, assuming that ABR does survive this little onslaught. Oh, there's going to be a lot of pressure coming from Hell as well. Not expecting that. And Kafolo could go searching in CT spawn. All right. I mean, it's not like the round is safe until now. They get that kill on Kens, and that will at least keep them alive here with the 2 players left alive in spawn. Sharks are swimming away with this, Trav.
They are. Play the Jaws theme tune.
Game Hunters are being hunted, and as you say, a shark would be one of the more scary things to be hunted by, because that would mean you're somewhere in the ocean, and there's not much you can do at that point.
No, humans shouldn't be in the ocean. But
I agree. We can stand there right on the edge where the waves crash, you know, water on your feet, no problem. But any further than that, that's like silly behavior.
It's like when humans swim with seals, right? You just see the seal in its natural habitat swimming and looking at the most graceful thing ever. Then it's finally on land and it blobs around like a blob.
Yeah, because it doesn't belong on land, right? That's probably what we look like in the water. Seals look at us like, stay on land, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. I think that is a message on his 99th birthday, by the way, from Sir David Attenborough. Look after the oceans. The oceans are the most precious part of the planet. It's not land, it's the ocean we need to look after to truly save the ecosystem.
Covers like 70% of the Earth's surface, so that makes sense. Look at this from Game Hunters. It's exactly what we needed from them. A good opening to the round here. Successful kills to give themselves a good shot at getting their first round on the board here. Can't slip up against Doc and Koala.
I think I would be wary of a Dr. Koala. Clearly that's an all-knowing koala. Can they team up and put that knowledge together here? Lich playing on top Heart. Could get cleared if they just walk out Heart and they haven't got a player watching it. They've got a weird position of Mellow as well, playing close with the AWP. Don't usually see a player close right in this situation, and he'll get punished for it, actually. This is the shot. Molly CT vent. They're now very wary of the possibility Lich is top Heart, and that's a great kill from Doc. It's sort of process of elimination there with no one peeking from CT vent. 3 kills for Doc on the round. They are recovering things. PLT just about gets that spray. It is all down to Doc. Good headshot from Vent. And he's done significant damage to Riccioli. Got the opportunity to drop down, but he's faking it. 25 seconds and he's faking it, and Riccioli has bit that bait.
And now he's realized, surely now the penny has dropped for Riccioli, and he's got to realize, right, there's no way he would have beaten Doc to the punch, and now he's going to hear the digits being punched in. It's a very level playing field in terms of health for both of these players. HE's going to be slightly premature. And there is a kit for Riccioli, so he's got the time to work with right now. Going to bank the flash off the corner there and try and get himself into the bomb site. Bomb perfectly planted for Doc. He doesn't have to move a muscle.
Yeah, literally stock solid right now, Doc. Looking for the ace to get Sharks to 12. Riccioli will get down, set to the site safely. Could have died to full damage if he wasn't careful. He's got a smoke and a kit, but he's one bullet from death, and that's the perfect time to peek if you're Doc. As he's looking to try and get onto the defuse, as he's fumbling around with utility, peek when he doesn't have his weapon drawn properly, and Doc is going to ace them. Incredible.
So smart there, the way that he goes about the processes as well. An incredible shooting, but Melo is the one who has to be kicking himself, Trav, because he was posted on the angle. He missed the shot. He was waiting for that exact play to be made, and he couldn't connect on the shot that would have killed Doc. He goes on a tirade off the back of that first frag onto Melo. That shot on the Hut player was fantastic, and he just saves the day. A 2v4, but ultimately a 1v4, because Doc was the one who gets all the kills.
Oh, PRT. Nothing you can do about that as well. Nade broken open directly in front of him. Gafolo flicks. Thankfully, Melo is there for a quick trade. Koala and his one as well. But actually, Doc has gone down, and it's a good check from Lich to remove Koala eventually. IDN will, of course, take ABR on the trade outside.
Why have you done that?
Back down into a 2v2, but I lied because now Ken's is the only one alive. Does he realise that the B site is clear? Looks like he does. He's making plenty of noise. We'll try and get it down. And we've got another opportunity for another clutch, this time to win the game.
Yeah, the academy player, Ken's, what have you got for us? Had a quiet map so far, but that's just because his teammates have been fragging like monsters. He has an opportunity now. Center stage. Spotlight is on him. There's no kit on either of these remaining CTs. They're going to be working together, and Ken's now has the info. He knows the second player is also coming through from Secret, but Melo's not wasting any time. He's just going to get on the defuse. There's no way he's going to stick the 10-second. Ken's just denies. 1v2 to finish off the job. Sharks, flawless in the second half, will go up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, Ken's wasn't needed throughout the whole game, but when he was, he delivered. That's all you can really ask of him, right? Great stuff from Sharks in that second half. Every single thing that they put into place seemed to work perfectly. And yeah, the Doc ace was definitely a moment to remember. Koala played amazingly well as well. Started with that 4K with the dualies on the pistol and kind of continued as he meant to go on. He was 13-2 at one point, as you can see in the bottom left there. And Game Hunters had a pretty impressive T side, I'll give them that. But Sharks just really showed their quality when it ticked over to T.
Yeah, Doc really came alive in a massive way on the T side as well, by the way. He ended the first half, I think, with 6 kills to his name, and then he had so much impact throughout the entirety of the second half. Really good kills. Found himself and Ardi and Zar were the chief destroyers in the second half. And Game Hunters could just never get off the mark, unfortunately. They had their opportunities. They had a couple opening kills that went unconverted, and they get punished.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be very difficult for Game Hunters to recover now, of course. That was their map pick. They go into Ancient coming up next. That's Sharks' map, obviously. And they've had some poor losses, like I've said, to Flux, we saw the other day, and to NIP in that to Philadelphia final I mentioned. But they've had a lot more reps on the map, and unfortunately for Game Hunters, they only had really 2 wins recently. And they're against much lower tier Brazilian opposition. So we'll see if there's anything to talk of for Game Hunters, or if Sharks will get through to that lower final after the break.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Sharks had a powerful bite on that second half. They completely ran over the Game Hunters, and they'll be searching not just for a game, but also for their form, because they're going to go on to map 2 of Ancient, where Sharks have been plainly a lot better recently and have more reps as well.
I mean, there was a lot to get excited about in that first half from Game Hunters. I love the style of Counter-Strike that they brought to the table, hyper-aggressive with multiple different openings. It's not like they were just abusing the same round every single time. They were doing different things, right? Whether it was a fast split outside into A or a fast A take, maybe looking to go ramp aggressively, go down the vent. It was entertaining. But once they got to the CT side, obviously then you can't rely on that. You're not dictating the pace of the game anymore. You have to play reactively. But they weren't able to contain Sharks or kind of keep up with them. Now we get into the second map, Trav, and tournament live on the line for Game Hunters.
It is, and I just want to quickly mention some of the results that I was kind of touching on before. Game Hunters have played 7 times on Ancient recently. Actually won their last 2. They'd lost 5 in a row before that. But again, it's against lower tier opposition. Uara, acceptable maybe. They beat Florippa Stars 13-2. That was in Challenger League. But there's kind of no one on that Florippa Stars team that is a notable scalp. So that kind of just tells you the tale. But if you look at Sharks, they have played against decent opposition and have won it against decent opposition as well. They did it twice in that Fire League Buenos Aires LAN. Played it in the final for the Philadelphia event. Of course, struggled against NIP. But they managed to beat Blue Jays on it, which is a decent win, considering Blue Jays have some decent names in North America. So we'll see what they have to show in this particular matchup in playoffs when it matters once again.
Well, Game Hunters weren't able to win a round on the CT side on Nuke. Can they open up with a pistol round win here on the CT side of Ancient? They have stacked up on the B bomb site, and it might make a difference. Melo dancing back and forth is going to find the multi-kill. Now he just has to stay alive. He has to try buy time. Gafolo will eventually force the trade, but surely he's going to read the fact that PRT is here. Oh my god. What a way for Gafolo to clutch it out. He didn't care about planting the bomb.
Literally just push forward. I think he had 3 or 4 bullets left in the Glock as well. Insta goosh, insta body shot.
Yeah.
Crazy. You only need 2. And sometimes 1, if you're close enough.
Very good work there from Sharks. I mean, they had to do that on hard mode, running into the stack on the B bomb site. Looked good for Game Hunters off the back of Melo multiing. But they still fall short. They're going to force buy here, though, to try and answer back straight after losing the pistol. Oh, Lich and Ricky Oli have both gone through the smoke looking the same direction, and Doc will snap them both up.
I think, like, as I kind of mentioned in that post I made on Reddit the other day, right, just replying to someone talking about tiers and stuff, there's the main difference, I feel like, in this sort of tier that we're watching right now, and let's go just look at it as a regional standpoint in South America, you've got Sharks who can shoot pretty hard and have a pretty good system with protocols and cohesion and synergy and all the above. Game Hunters have players who can occasionally shoot hard, but have much less synergy, much less cohesion. And, like, as I kind of have spoken to, like, a friend of mine who used to play in, like, at a relatively decent level, you know, like EU, ESEA Advanced, played a couple of times in ESL Challenger League in the old guys when it was ESEA Premier. Like, most professionals at every sort of level, even going down to, like, Tier 3, Tier 4 EU, right, can shoot very, very hard. They're good individually. They're probably all, like, you know, 3k elo on Faceit or something like that. But the difference is when you truly get into a team and can have incredible teamwork. Like, if you're good enough to get to a team, you can shoot hard. That's a given, it feels like. Obviously, some players are better than others.
Yeah.
But it's the synergy and team play, which is really what you want to see from up-and-coming rosters like a Game Hunters.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what Sharks are trying to build at the moment, right? That's why they've made the roster change. Kind of keen to see what Angelo's going to bring to the table here for Sharks once he can start to play the tournaments for them. But you kind of build that synergy over time with the core. You can tweak the roster here or there.
Yeah.
Like you say, everyone's expected to be able to shoot. That's just like a prerequisite at this level, that you have fragging ability. That's not going to really determine whether you're tier 2 or tier 3, as you allude to there, right? It's more nuanced aspects of the game and being in a team.
Quite a lot of damage done there by Game Hunters in that round, considering what they had. Career live for Sharks. Already the AWP out on Mellow, which is going to be a threat for Sharks for sure. I've like what I've seen from Mellow in this series so far, even though it's been a rough game for his team overall. I think he's got something about him. Nothing mellow about his form.
Oh, RDN is going to get ahead of that smoke. It does look like it shouldn't cost Game Hunters, though, because they have got ABR controlling Red Room right now. Doc is kind of keen to just go searching ramp. I mean, I guess he was just trying to draw attention towards that B-bomb site. Mellow with his AWP up close and personal will find both the kills. Great close proximity AWPing from him. And Lich does spot the player on the jiggle, gets the information.
Yeah. Tough for Cafolo and RDN to find any way back in here. "40 seconds, they're very much split. You know, maybe try and team up with each other right now, but it does feel like a situation here where they might just decide to save on T side. They've got enough money to drop a weapon each, right? Which is enough to warrant going for this decision, I feel like. Now, I know that Game Hunters won't be hunting too hard as well, because they need to build up their own money and survive with 5 up. So it's like a compromise that works for both teams.
Yep, they'll both be happy to just kind of have a bit of a stalemate to the end of the round here. Game Hunters get the points on the board and keep 5 players alive. A very good boost to their economy here at this point of the half, early on here. Oh, Gafolo, that is not a miss I would have expected from him. Could have spilled a little bit of blood here in the round, but now it's not going to happen. 3-1. Sharks did look a little bit too comfortable, a little bit too easy going in the round there, even just docked towards ramp the way he was just trying to take head-on-head fights, not really setting himself up for those fights, giving himself a much of a chance. It was just like a straight-up dry gunfight. And it's not like his team were ready to try and push into A after he died. That still took a few seconds, so Melo could really set himself up accordingly.
ABR is burning. Let's use utility to stay alive. PRT's in a good position though, especially with teammate support. Even if you've got flashes, it's a very tight choke point. Oh my word. How on earth Was that Ken's? How on earth
Doc.
is he 100? Okay, it was Doc. I was going to say, how on earth is he 100 HP? But
No, it couldn't have been Doc because he's Speedway. You're right.
yeah, I was going to say, like, how on earth has Ken's got out of mid there on 100 health? That is crazy.
I was literally just assuming it was Doc because he had taken damage because I was thinking the exact same thing you were. Whoever that was must have taken some damage. But anyway, gets out with his life intact. Lots of damage done to ABR and PRT here. But it's going to be a strong advantage in the round. A 5 versus 3 again for Game Hunters.
Oh, good pick from Gafolo. These are the rounds that you need to make sure you confirm if you're Game Hunter. These are the tough ones. Oh my goodness, Gafolo, that is so bold. And when I say bold, that's usually caster speak for kind of ridiculously aggressive. Doc, 1 versus 4. Very difficult to do anything here with this crossfire intact. Oh, almost actually finds the player through the smoke first, but nothing doing. And the gap will be close to 1 with Sharks likely on a half buy coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it was very aggressive from Gafolo. My problem with it isn't so much the player itself, it's the fact that his teammate wasn't ready to come up ramp when he commits. Because if they're pushing up ramp at the same time he's committing through cave, then at least they get that trade. But he dies before the ramp player can actually commit.
These are the rounds that are winnable, though, for Sharks. You go a bit pacier with the Tech 9s up toward ramp. Ancient has kind of turned into a map that does lean very much toward aggressive moves and a very speedy game style. There's one team in particular, I think, sure, had some relatively rough losses recently, especially in this particular tournament in EU. Navi Junior, they play an unbelievably fast style on Ancient. In nearly every single round that I've seen a couple of occasions. It's the speediest thing you've ever seen. And talking of speed, well, RDN says gotta go fast. He's found 3 kills. He will go down. But the Tech 9's done crazy work. Koala's now found the AWP. He's picked it up. He's got Doc to hold his hand the whole way. And ABR is still quite a long way behind on that big flank. He's got a kit. He can afford to take his time, but he's been seen and been taken. And exactly like I said, a pacey round with the pistols works out for the T side.
Always a good option to go for that sort of a play there if you are in that that type of round. You got that kind of investment on the T side. Ricky Oli in a very committed position, right? You got to commend Ken's, I think, who jumped in first there, basically just a lamb to a slaughter to enable his teammates to get the trade, and they just ride that wave all the way into the B bomb side. Game Hunters drop the ball. That should have been them leveling up the scoreline, but instead it's Sharks going clear by 2.
Yeah, frustrating. If you're Game Hunters, you got an opportunity to maybe pull back the game. Those are the rounds you look back on at the end of a game and say to yourself, oh, we just hadn't lost to the pistols, guys. We just hadn't lost to the pistols.
Ken's gets his first kill of map. Ricky Oli goes down. Oh, Lich gonna hang around. Was he spotted out there? I don't think Ken's caught a glimpse, but the tick will give the information away. Melo continues to frag with his AWP. He's been a shining light on the CT side so far, but he's been dimmed out in this round.
Good frag from ABR to Koala pushing his way through toward A. But Sharks still have the man advantage 3v2. Bomb will go down. It's planted safe from Cave. Flitch tries to push forward and deny 1 kill, which he has actually. Catches Ken's coming off the plant. And he's very aware of Doc's position, but it's a proper wide swing from Doc. Oh, it's unfortunate. I feel like Lich played that relatively perfectly. But Doc will get the kill. AK trumps M4. Dink isn't enough. And ABR is miles away.
Yeah, Sharks starting to tear ahead with this game now as a result of winning this round. Actually kind of navigate Lich quite well. I mean, Lich does everything he can. Undetected, hiding behind the box there in cave. getting that first kill. He lands the instant dink on Doc as well, but AK just trumps the M4 in that head-on-head duel. And now Game Hunters have been reduced to pistols, so Sharks should be able to guarantee themselves a level scoreline going into the second half at the bare minimum here. They'd like to build up some bank of their own, though, so see if they can keep this one clean.
I'm looking forward to Pick'ems, Matt.
Yeah, they're always fun.
I'm excited.
Certainly a very engaging part of the major. Stickers as well, Trav.
Oh boy, gold stickers I'll never get.
Oh boy.
I have actually capsuled a few, historically. I think my first one ever was like it might have been a Shocks gold from like Krakow 2017. I dread to think
If
how
you
much
still
that's
have
worth
that,
now.
you better give it to me.
No, I don't. I think I probably sold it for
that's
25
unfortunate.
quid. It's probably worth like 250 now. Wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
don't go and look. Don't go check. That's just
I'm checking.
torturing yourself.
Shocks,
No, don't do it, Trav.
Krakow,
Don't do it.
2017
oh, no, he's doing it, guys. I
gold.
can't stop him. I can't stop him.
Okay,
He's a man on a mission.
most recent buy order on Steam, $288.
Oh, good lord. Okay. Well, I tried to warn you. I tried to stop you from inflicting that pain on yourself, but here we are. Do you feel better now, Trav? Are you glad you did that?
Well, I know the pain that I know the pain that's out there in terms of money that I've lost out on when it comes to these old investments that I just threw away. The butterfly knife fade that I used to have is my most egregious one. I swapped it for a talon knife, dude. What was I thinking?
Yeah, but how were you to know, man? I mean, we were never looking at skins at that point as a genuine investment, right? It was just pretty on the screen. I want a different shape blade, so I'm going to trade my knife. You know, forgive past Trav. Stop being so harsh on him.
All right, fair enough.
Look at Sharks, man. They are just flying through this round right now. I didn't know Sharks could fly until I watched this round.
Isn't there like a specific type of shark that can like breach the water and like fly through the air? I know there's like flying
They
fish.
are flying fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a shark that does that.
Flying shark. Another Google.
Okay, listen, you can tell now it's our 6 best of 3 in the day when you're Googling flying shark. That's the dead giveaway.
Listen, like, there's too much, what do you call it? Like, Italian brain rot memes with, like, sharks and, you know, tralalero, tralala and all that. It's getting a bit much at the moment. It's getting a bit much. We need to cut
Oh,
down.
nice run boost. This is nice. Oh, ABR. This is going to net him an opening kill. He's taken so much damage to the flames. He nearly drops into more fire.
Oh.
But he will be able to get out of dodge. Doc gets one back in the meantime. Ricky only decides to aggress down ramp after they've gotten a very successful outing in middle, 5v3. So that kind of negates the impact of that very successful start to the round in mid. Oh, and Koala's gotten past PRT while he's jiggling. He wants to go back. That felt a bit silly. You've just been gifted a golden opportunity to kind of slip the net there, I think.
I mean, I do question how was he to know for 100% sure that opportunity was presenting itself, but I get what you mean.
Well, the player would have thrown the smoke if he had seen him, I think.
Yeah, okay. That actually opens up an opportunity for Sharks toward B now. There's one player here. He's not exactly defending the site properly. He's playing behind the site. Doc is not the player that will be going for the plant, so he'll be safe to the HE grenade. They can actually break it open to begin with, but that probably won't do a whole lot. Yeah, Sharks don't give them anything at all. So this is definitely a winnable 3v4. Problem is, of course, there was a double flank to try and defend, and well, Doc's already gone down. Koala, though. Oh, trigger discipline. Now an opportunity. 1 versus 2. It would be a quad kill in total if he's to win this one out. But he stuck himself in the cubby. Might not matter. He swung past the angle. Mello is kitless. If Koala plays time, he has got this round at a lock and key. He might just get the kill anyway. He doesn't, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, what a clutch from Koala, man. I mean, he gets the first 2 kills in the flank just from pure intelligence in terms of how he positions himself. Maybe a little bit of an oversight for Game Hunters to not even look in that direction when retaking into the B-bomb site. And then Koala's thinking, well, it's a 2v2 now, but then all of a sudden his teammate dies right here. You see, he gets those kills, his teammate dies, he has to do more. Gets in the corner, and then it looks like he's trapped in the corner. But a good little flash nade combination then gets him out of dodge. Swings with that flash, gets a kill, and then, like you say, smartly just plays time. He doesn't panic once that tap on the defuse comes through, doesn't overcommit, and Sharks are up to 7.
Yeah, being kitless there. It was so awkward for Mello. What a great round from Sharks. If I tag down to 1 HP immediately early round, that's pretty crazy. RDN will deal with 1. Oh, and Koala. USP for ABR. Searching for the AWP in the smoke. Will be able to pick it up. And Koala actually hasn't seen him do that. Fair enough. That's actually very important to be able to nab that again.
There's so much space top mid right now, and Sharks are venturing in that direction. In the meantime, they're going to try and make their way up ramp. They've actually just kind of threaded the needle on both sides of the map. Artie and Zhao. Okay, there's nothing about threading the needle there. That's just brute force, brutality. Gets 1 kill, swings back in, finds the second as well. It's only Lich left remaining, quivering and quaking. They are headed in this direction, but that's not going to change much, I don't think.
He'll go down here on the trade. RDN with another one. That's 4 kills to end off the round for him. Beautifully played. True brutality, as you say. And it could be about to be a fatality for Game Hunters.
What game is that from, Trav? I can't place it. Is it like Unreal Tournament or
wait,
something like that?
no. I know it. Not Street
It's not
Fighter.
Quake, is it?
No, not Street
Oh,
Fighter.
Tekken?
Might be Tekken. Wait, hang on. I got it. Mortal Kombat, I think.
Mortal Kombat. Okay, fair enough.
Without Googling.
Never really my cup of tea. Well remembered.
But the other ones, like you hear in like those old Counter-Strike, like DM servers, when you're on like a triple kill or like a multi-kill, wicked sick.
Yeah,
Unstoppable.
that's always a good one. That's like in the DM server.
Yeah, exactly. That's like Quake stuff, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong.
Okay, well, Sharks are unstoppable right now. They are on a crazy tear up until this point, in complete control of the map. Game Hunters just have decided to go for a bit of a half investment here. So, should be another round for Sharks, but ABR has opened up with the 1 league, and there's a lot of players on this B-bomb site right now. That's exactly where Sharks are headed.
Well, good dink on toward Ken's. With RDN down in this round as well. Opportunities to win one of these low investment rounds. Getting toward the end of the half would be very, very welcome if they're able to somehow find 4. The Sharks know what's up right now. They know Game Hunters want an awkward buy. They know they're going to try and be cheeky. They're going to try and be aggressive, try and play a stack maybe, play a crossfire. They're just being patient.
Yeah, Game Hunters, they can't really afford to just remain on the bomb site without any information, so they're going to play the smoke fade with 2 players, then a third not far behind. It's Kenz who's on the other side here. Neat little jiggles from him. It's a big wide swing from the 5-7 though. Koala to pick up the pieces, but he's taken a lot of damage in the process. There is still a player on this B-bomb side. ABR is here. He's gotten a kill already, so they might have an idea. Good util usage has also isolated ABR in the corner. Gafolo should see the gun barrel. ABR's gotten another. Okay, trade comes through, but there's a very good chance now for Game Hunters.
Gafolo will get the bomb down. Doc and Gafolo together. A lot of experience between the two of them. With Mello 28 HP, no armor, PRT is going to have to be the man to lead the line here. Big wide swing, great kill, and actually, well, I thought Gafolo had a great chance of winning that one either way, but no, he peeks a trade, and guess what? He peeks straight into a Mello 1 dig. That's beautiful, and a great third round for Game Hunters to win.
Yeah, phenomenal work there from Game Hunters, really solid. That's them winning the half investment. That is certainly a big let-off. Just kind of able to trade their way through the round, just keep chipping away at Sharks. I love that huge swing from PRT. It's what you got to do with the MP9. Certainly can't shift walk into the angle. The last round of the half is now upon us. Can Sharks get themselves up to 9? That feels like it would be a nail in the coffin, if not the final one. 8-4. And I'm still willing to give Game Hunters a chance based on what we saw on the previous map on that T side in particular.
Oh my goodness, got a push down ramp while a push comes through from Jaguar, and Riccioli's done a great job of that one. 4 quick kills for Game Hunter that are absolutely nowhere, it feels like. Push down ramp didn't work, but the Riccioli push was brilliant, and flurry of kills came through elsewhere as well. RDN is in a 1v3. They know that he's only just got the bomb planted, so he can't be too far away from the site. RDN's trying to go aggressive, trying to find a kill from somewhere. He's dueling every single angle possible, but he's not able to find anything in that clutch attempt. So, as I said, Game Hunters do get 4 on CT. That's acceptable, considering where they were, but Sharks still very much in control after the end of the first half. We'll see if they can complete the game in a moment or two. Sharks are in a very solid position. Game Hunters will be given some hope from the end of that first half, but Sharks on CT now, looking to close out this win and get a spot in that lower final to keep themselves in the battle for ESL Pro League.
That is what they're after right now. Game Hunters are after the say bomb site. RDN is here right now, and he's going to get run over. That is a great clean opening kill from Guess Who? It's your man PRT. He was on entry duty on Nuke, and he's followed in that form here on Ancients as well. This is a flawless pistol round from Game Hunters right now.
And Riccioli with a double kill as he holds off the donut rotation. Doc and Gaffolo trying to look for exit kills really here, I think. Just want some money. Not really any other option. Game Hunters go for a speedy play through mid in toward donut, in toward A. Sharks not able to contain them.
Yeah, I guess a sign of what we can expect coming into the rest of the half, right? Because it's the same sort of style that they used on the T side of Nuke, which is all-out war. Never take a step backwards, never let go of W. Doc will die. If not to Game Hunters, then to the bomb explosion, trying to take as many to the grave with him here. And you know what? That's not a bad return. Sharks are never going to win the round, so at least they inflict 4 casualties effectively.
Yeah, it's not, if it's like a gun round, it's a bit more of an issue. The fact it's a pistol round, it's always obviously not too bad. Does mean there'll be, I think, a rebuy of Kevlar for everyone, obviously. I think Lich was the only one to survive, and he took some extra damage, as we've seen. So wasn't able to buy up a helmet for 350, for example. But Sharks will choose to go for the full eco. The only thing they've invested is one singular Zeus on Doc. Is he the Doctor of Electricity? We're about to find out.
Could be electrifying. Game Hunters are running in towards the speed bomb site, but there's so much utility that it shouldn't be much of a problem. Okay. It's all good, Trav. Don't worry. There's a Zeus, though. Doc got a Zeus kill. Can he get a Mac 10 frag as well?
So worth.
What's the kill reward for a Zeus these days? Is it $100 or $300?
Is it 200? I'm pretty sure it's 200. I'm gonna double check.
200. How could I have just gone slightly above, slightly below?
The AI overview on Google right now is wrong. It has been changed recently. I think you might be right. I think I could be wrong. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 100. You're right.
It's 100. Okay, thought so. 8-6. Going to be the first gun round here of the second half. Game Hunters looking like they've got a bit of a spring in their step. Yeah. Looks like they mean business on the T side. Sharks are going to have to weather the storm.
I was thinking about what it cost, right? 200 rather than
yes,
what the kill reward was. Not a big Zeus user. It's not a very good weapon anymore. There was a little period during CS2 where, like, Rops was using it on, in close heart, pretty much in pistol rounds even. He was using it to guarantee an opening kill. It was that powerful, but the range has kind of been nerfed a little bit now. ABR. Good opening, but a good response from Doc. Blind and through the corner of the smoke with a flash assist from Koala. The Game Hunters are going to press the issue in toward A very aggressively. I don't think Koala will get one more here, but I lied to you. He does get one more, and that's actually a kill that keeps him in the conversation of the round. Ifolo finds one of his own, gets back a 3v2 back in response. Playing inside the smoke. How is he alive? Riccioli is not the man to take him in the end. It's Mello, but look at this. 2 quick swings coming through from Sharks. They didn't give Game Hunters any space to figure out what was going on there. Charged through Temple and finished off the round.
Yeah, I have no idea what we're watching right now. This is messy. This is scrappy. I guess it could be entertaining as well, but it is a bit of a sight for sore eyes, the style of Counter-Strike right now. No finesse, no nuance about this game. And Game Hunters, well, off the back of losing that gun round, are going to force back in the round immediately afterwards. This could be where things start to fall apart for them, Trav. This is really important that they make this force buy work.
Boost. Yes. Close MP9. Yes. Kill. Yes.
No.
For the T side.
Right, for ABR. Yeah, fair. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, and Koala's just out in the open. Doc has doubled down. What is going on right now? He's going to stand there for more. Gafolo forced out into mid will eventually go down, but it doesn't matter because Doc just continues to frag. That is 4 now.
And he's got the bomb as well. There's a Molotov on the ground in front of him he can pick up too. He's playing behind the smoke. Probably a good angle to play if he wants to try and get the ace, actually. Unexpectedly close angle. But that smoke's going to fade. Does need to be careful. but also wants to keep the bomb in his vision. Ken's, oh, it's dangerous. Never mind, he looks at the right angle at the right time. It's all good. Doc is an absolute hero. How on earth has he stopped all 4 coming in through A main?
I have no idea, because if he doesn't do that, even if he just gets 2 and goes down, I think Sharks lose the round. Even if he dies after the 3rd, who knows what happens. Incredible work from Doc there to save the day for his team. He had a similar round on the previous map, right? Where he just pops off like crazy. Was that in the first half, Trav? I can't even remember anymore. I think it was the first half, actually.
Yeah.
Got that crazy quad kill. Was that in the pistol?
That was Koala.
Okay. We have had a crazy Doc round as well, where he got the quad kill and then had the ace denied.
Indeed.
Somewhere. But, alas, 10-6. Sharks 3 rounds away from that spot in the lower bracket final, and they should be able to make it just 2. Game Hunters really scratching the barrel right now, coming into this round with just 2 flashes.
And they're about to hit the play button. Unfortunately, Sharks have found the stop button. And 11-6 is the lead. 2 needed to get this game done and dusted, consign it to the history books, and with all due respect to both, I think it deserves to stay there.
Yeah, probably where it belongs, in all honesty. Been some moments here of entertainment throughout this game so far, but not really the way you would want it to be if you're like a pure Counter-Strike lover. It's been scrappy though. Brings some entertainment of its own. Okay, Game Hunters, what have you got for us? They've got utility, they've got rifles, and unsurprisingly, they've got pace, and they've taken quite a lot of util damage, not as much as I thought. The smoke will extinguish the molly. Ken's has taken a lot of space, and Doc through the smoke has opened up.
My goodness. Did Koala just get triple headshot there? 2 of them being through the door
Sounded
before
like
they
it.
finally got finished off. Pretty crazy. RDN tries to respond, but Mello will get the kill. Thankfully,
There's a
Ken's has
third player
taken
red room.
Riccioli, and Doc is, guess what, on the scene again of the crime.
There's a flank here from Gafolo as well. He's not going to be able to catch them in middle, but he might have a pretty quick flank through Banana. Through Donut. Got food on the brain, clearly. Oh, here they go back in towards middle. They cross paths with Gafolo. And ABR will take him down, but it's Doc out in the open here on the same bomb site. He inflicts so much damage, but it's not fatal to either of the 2 remaining players.
Ken's can clutch. No, he's 61 HP. He's got an incendiary. He's got the health advantage over both the remaining Game Hunters players, but he does not have that all-important defuse kit. Game Hunters found a way to get over the line. There is a defuse kit on the ground there on the left for Ken's to pick up. That will surely be communicated. Means he can take a little bit extra time. But he's not checking CT. He thinks it could be long with where the bomb is planted. Obviously going to go for a hold, but he should just get crept upon here. Time's getting a bit close, but there we go. ABR gets it done. Quad kill for ABR, otherwise known as AVN. And it's 11-7.
I was casting AVN earlier today, man. My brain just crosses wires. Okay, very good round for Game Hunters to win, though. Absolutely necessary. I think Sharks just give them so many unnecessary fights, though, in towards the top of middle. Doc tries to save the day for them. They're just feeding Game Hunters in middle. And this is the moment where the T-side could get back into the game.
As we've seen, though, I really do think that Sharks just have the ability to win every single round with whatever they have.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like you just can't count them out. Especially when Doc is popping off the way that he is. Somebody give him an M4, please.
True.
I guess there is only one other M4 on the team. Kind of fair that RDN has it.
By the way, I want to mention something very quickly. You know, I mentioned to you that there was a patch to the game. This is one of the bugs that was created during their update the other night. That actually didn't, delay the game at all. So props to everyone for getting that sorted out ASAP.
That's what we love, Trav. Tight ship, smooth sailing. And it's going to be a bit more of a default-esque approach coming through from Game Hunters right now, just fanning themselves out across the map, maybe preempting some sort of aggression from the CT side. Nothing on offer, though. I'm looking at Kafolo's AWP here to try and be the difference maker in the round. It looks like they want to go searching. Kafolo doesn't have a flash to enable them, though. It's going to have to be the plume of the nade.
That's actually a crazy call to try and make that work with the HE. Let's get the MP9 one kill, but only the one. 4v3 for Game Hunters. Could be rewarded with a chance to close the gap to only 2 rounds coming in here. Kafolo's going to be slightly hurt. I feel like rotating round. There were a few bullets put through the plywood to try and catch a kill. Surely Sharks can't wrestle a win out of this round. Got Koala on 15
This is smart. They know
HP.
they did a lot of damage to Koala. They know they tagged him up heavily, so they're going to fake B and know that there's a very good chance Koala, the low health player, is the one who's going to be leaning in towards that A bomb site. But Ardian's gotten a lot of info. I'm surprised that Kafolo's still hanging around. Oh, he's going to hear the steps. Is Koala? Can he catch Melo? Yes, he can. That's a man advantage all of a sudden, but there's still a retake to be done.
ABR 16 HP from earlier on as well. MP9, oh, the long range burst, and Kafolo will help out with that kill in the end. Sharks are finding a way with this really difficult 3 versus 4, jumping around. MP9 is, of course, been able to get the kill, and Kafolo survives on 10 HP. Koala on 15 from all the way earlier on. How on earth they managed to recover that one?
I mean, it did get a little bit scary there. Just a tiny bit spooky for a moment there. ABR just smartly hugging the box, but 3 players running in his direction. He does everything he can, but unfortunately it's not enough. And Sharks have now got 5 opportunities to finish off the job, eliminate Game Hunters here from ECL Season 49, and get themselves into that lower bracket final. And look at the gun round that they're going to have to contest as well. It's not ideal by any stretch here for Game Hunters.
Yeah, 2 AKs, 1 Galil, 2 Tech 9s. Sharks just seem to be able to, as I said, actually before that previous round, they seem to find a way to win these rounds, which seem so unlikely. ABR's got his 1-for-1, trying to force his way out middle. Just to be fair to PRT, he's actually removed Koala, so Kafolo's going to have to go aggressive. Good pick. Still alive toward the back of the site, but will miss that second opportunity. So Melo will take him down. Another advantage, and Ricky only seems to have got maybe even both donut players dead to rights here. There's the M4 pouncing, does good damage to Kenz as well, and Kenz will go down to Melo. So a bit of a faster play, kind of a set call there for Game Hunters. It works out.
Well, that was Sharks' best opportunity. They're going to go for the 4-spy here. It's not going to be a convincing one. Losers, they get $1,900, 12-9, an eco round, 12-10. Not inconceivable for Game Hunters to fight back from here. Kafolo got a nasty trade through the smoke in that previous round, but then he decides to force the issue way too much, I'm afraid. He tries to just be the hero, like flashing his way through the smoke, does hit a nice first shot, but he had to do so much more than that to actually justify and capitalize on that opportunity. This is why I love Counter-Strike, because Game Hunters are on the brink of being eliminated from the entire tournament, but they're still alive in the server. Lose one more round, and that is ECL Season 49 over. Win 4 in a row, and we're in overtime all of a sudden. We wipe the slate clean. They could force a 3rd map. Who knows where we go from there? Such fine margins.
Game Hunters, I think, overall will be pretty happy with their season. Because they did actually not even qualify for playoffs, technically. But there were some withdrawals. Got through in 11th, when the top 10 should be making it through. And they've done well in this lower bracket run. Beaten Crew, who finished ahead of them. Beaten Red Cannons, who finished ahead of them. We do take
they've done well to get to this point. Kind of justifying the decision that they have been offered up the opportunity. Well, here we go. What do Game Hunters have in store for us here? Oh, man. Kafolo's scout just narrowly missing out through the smoke. And Sharks is kind of evading Game Hunters at every turn right now. They don't want to give them any direct gunfights.
Again, ABR's got plenty of presence in mid. Pretty far up toward red. Not in it yet, though. That smoke is now faded. Questioning whether he wants to move forward a little bit further. Now I'm going to move back toward B. 2 players here, an MP9 and a 5.7. A dangerous combination. The resmoke will come through as well. That's a great resmoke with 35 seconds on the clock. Game Hunters might feel like they need to be pushing through this one. Might feel forced to do it. In comes the 5-7. There's the 1. There'll be a quick flank coming through as well. Ardian's actually seen the Red Room player. He's doing significant damage on the taps from range through lane as well. And Riccioli's 14 HP. Good frag from ABR. That keeps him in the advantage. But 16 seconds for a plant. And again, Doc's found an extra kill. The plant will be all right. A plant safe on the flank as well, but RDN picks up an AK. Unfortunately, I think that AK was empty, so it makes it difficult for him, but he has found Mello. It's all down to ABR to keep his team alive. RDN creeping forward, and ABR will not waver. 21 on the board, triple kill, and now Game Hunters within 3.
Oh, RDN, that's unfortunate for him. A good attempt, all things considered, but a very good timing on the peek out there for ABR, and actually good composure from Game Hunters as well. That could have fallen apart for them. There was a lot going on, and the time was certainly ticking down as well, which would have only added to the pressure of the situation. And now we have a pause, a chance to catch our breath. It's going to be a full eco for Sharks here, Trav, so double digits is ripe for the taking for Game Hunters. Puts them 2 rounds away from overtime at that point. I mean, really, there's only one full gun run between Game Hunters and overtime.
Yeah.
Eco here, 12-10. Full gun run, 12-11. 4 spy. This is very doable.
I don't trust the 4 spy. Never have, never will.
Yeah,
always feels possible.
Sketchy fella.
Mr. Force, bye.
Not sure what the delay is about here. We've had a pretty smooth sailing series so far between these two teams without any issues. I don't know who this break actually favors, because Game Hunters, it might be a little bit annoying for them. They've got the momentum behind them right now, but this could cool them off a little bit.
It could. But only going to last a few minutes according to our lovely admins, so I think we're all right. I think, of course, technically you're not allowed to talk during attack, but I'm sure there'll be some sort of chatter going on, whether it's just to relax each other's minds, even if it's not a strategic chat. There we go. We'll commit to the full eco like we've said. Mirage is waiting. If Game Hunters can pull off something crazy.
Sharks shouldn't be able to pull off anything crazy here in this round. Just the 5 USPs to their name right now. Game Hunters can get themselves within touching distance.
Was it Sashi or Zero Tenacity earlier that won that round with full USPs?
That was Zero Tenacity.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was Z10. Sashi won the series 2-0, but Z10 won, I think, an eco and a half buy in that series. Maybe even 2 half buys.
They won a couple of
But
half
it was
buys,
a full
yeah.
USP round, yes.
Couple of kills for Sharks. I'm pretty happy with that, considering what they had. Doc has managed to pick up the AK. That'll be a valuable commodity going into the next round. Mello will get the bomb planted on A. And Koala is tasked with protect the VIP. Time for that game mode to be reintroduced.
Don't think I ever played much of that one, to be honest with you.
Played it once in a private server with a friend. It was fun.
Okay. Yeah, they've kind of done away with a lot of those game modes, haven't they? I mean, Danger Zone, obviously the one that a lot of people are quite upset about. From what I can tell, it's kind of been confirmed that it's never going to be coming back.
Pretty much.
It's okay, guys. Battle Royales had their phase. They're dead now. It's
True.
okay, we can let them go quietly into the night. It's all right. 12-10. And thus the best opportunity for Sharks to try and finish off the job. They've got the AWP in play. Rifles across the board outside of it. $2,900 is the injection of money they'll get into their bank account if they lose. And surely that means overtime.
I will say, Danger Zone was a very, very unique take on the VR. I think it was like low-key, kind of cool, because it was just weird, but it had loads of fun aspects. I mean, bump mines, that's just fun as hell. Let's see if Game Hunters can continue to have fun. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, the Shadow.
The Shadow betrays Lich. Great frag from Gafolo. But that's another really amazing pick there from PRT.
Yeah, RDN, I mean, kind of just forcing that mellow timing is not going to favor him. The trade is there for Doc. Good little combination there between Doc and Kenz. And there's only one player left remaining. It's Riccioli to try and save the day here for Game Hunters to keep them alive in ECL Season 49. The weight of his team's hopes of qualifying for Pro League hinge on his shoulders right now. Crosshair's perfectly placed. It's not the cleanest on the kill, though. So he takes a lot of damage in that excursion. And they know exactly where he is. He has got a little bit of time to play with the smoke grenade as well, Trav. That could be the difference.
Yeah, just trying to get some damage done through the corner of Jaguar. And Gafolo's trying to put himself in a position where he's not going to get wallbanged and play on the corner of a smoke, an unpredictable position. Doc's gone all the way around to try and cut him off. Gafolo now just trying to keep himself alive. Don't want to just give up his life for free. Playing the right angles and right positions here. Make some noise dropping down in mid and actually choose to molly that shelf position. But Riccioli's already got the bomb. Unfortunately for Riccioli, I think Doc's in a very, very good angle here. We'll just play time. Here we go. He's got a freebie. Game over. Set and match for Sharks. They will stay alive. Pro League dream is still on.
Yeah, it's intact. Good job here. First match for them. First outing in the lower bracket for Sharks after they were dropped by Fluxo yesterday. And they've managed to get it across the line and get themselves into that lower bracket final. There were certainly some nervy moments here in the second half for Sharks. Looked like Game Hunters might be able to make the comeback happen. But they do fall short, unfortunately. And with that, it ends their run here in ECL Season 49 South America.
Yeah, they were given a bit of another opportunity, of course, after being kind of outside the top 10 in the regular season, been able to creep their way through due to a couple of withdrawals elsewhere, making an appearance in the playoffs in that lower bracket, getting drawn, of course, into that lower bracket considering their position. They got 2 good wins, and those wins will count for their VRS as time will go on, of course. It's not like missing out on Pro League is the main issue for them. I probably wouldn't expect it to get anywhere near. Just getting extra points on the board once the season is over. And that's one thing I'll kind of end off the stream again just to remind people is the fact that, of course, Challenger League is quite a long, drawn-out tournament. VRS points and money addition to your ranking is not added until tournaments are over. And that's what these teams are waiting for now. And the tournaments are over, they get that big injection of points. Linvision won Asia, jumped like 30 spaces, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly. So, yeah, it says a lot about how important these leagues are.
Oh, absolutely. As we get an updated look at the bracket, your Sharks, the first team to progress through to that next stage in the lower bracket. They'll play against the winner between Bounty Hunters and Swingers. Now, that series is still going on. 13-11 on the first map. Second map well underway. About to conclude the first half. So who the hell knows who Sharks are going to play against in the upper bracket final? We have Solid against Fluxo. The 2 teams that topped the charts in the regular season. Or was that... No, excuse me. That was Solid and Sharks were the 2. Fluxo weren't far behind. And I reckon Fluxo are the favorites to go all the way and claim that spot at Pro League. But to get into the grand final, they'll have to get past Solid tomorrow, Trav, and we'll have the pleasure of calling that game.
We will, and we'll continue our incredibly busy streak. We are now 2 very tired young men who would like their bed after a long day's casting and many, many, many BO3. So we're going to call it a day for now. Stay in touch, of course, with the ESL Challenger League because there is North America to come, just like it has been for the last couple of nights as well. Been a pleasure. We'll see you guys very soon for more in South America. Good night.